everyone, my name is Waturi Nguyo. This is Parents Magazine, and this is the Real Life Experiences segment. This is a segment where we get to talk to people who have been through circumstances and experiences that you can all learn from. And today I have a guest with me in studio. I'm gonna bring her in so that she can introduce herself, and then we'll move on from there.
Hello, Linzy. I'm a student at Mount Kenya University.
Okay, so Linzy, I would like you to tell us where you grew up maybe and what your childhood was like.
Well, I grew up at a place called Katito, but we later moved on with my mom to Nairobi, where I got introduced to a male figure that I had to call him Dad.
Okay, so when you say you got introduced to a male figure, by the time you were moving to Nairobi, where was your dad at this point? Your biological dad?
I don't know about my biological dad because I stayed with my mom. She was a single mother, and that was my life. I never knew life with a dad.
Okay, so how old were you by the time you guys were moving to Nairobi?
By the time we were moving to Nairobi, I was in class 5. So that is like I was 7 years old, yeah.
Okay, so when you guys moved to Nairobi, like where did you settle?
We settled at a place called Tasia. It's based in Embakasi.
Okay. Yeah, so you've just told us that once you came to Nairobi, your mother got married, and then you got introduced to a male figure, which was new to you. So how was the experience like?
I didn't love it because at once I thought that my mom's attention was towards the husband. Like I was a single child. Like I was used to seeing my mom more often. I was used to having her close to me in the pampering moments. But at this time now, when there was a male figure in the family, I felt like I was confused between the two because I never got that enough attention, and I was never close to the man. Yeah.
Okay, so like how did your new dad like take you in? Like talk to us about, because earlier you were telling me that you didn't like your dad that much and there was a reason why you didn't like him that much. So maybe you can tell us why didn't you like your dad that much?
As I've said, I didn't love him because I felt like all the attention of my mom was focused to him, and I will not be able to associate with my mom that much, and that made me drift away from him, and I developed hatred at some point.
Okay. Yeah, so also I think earlier when we were talking earlier before we came in here, you'd mentioned that your dad somehow became abusive in terms of he used to like molest you. So talk to us about that.
Oh yeah, my dad became abusive because I can say that when it all started, he was not drinking at all. But as time went by, he got used to this drinking, and I can somehow call it like he was a drunkard actually, but had hidden it behind the curtains until some time, something like that. So actually, at class 5, we live in a single room whereby it was given parts by a curtain. So like he will call me to the other side of the bedroom because they only use the bedroom with mom. I'll stay in the couch. That became my bedroom. So when he calls me, he will tell me to sit on his lap, touch my breast, and he told me that this is the right thing to be done to a girl child at the age that I was. So I got used to such kind of stuff, and I started feeling like this is what is suspected of a young girl. So I didn't have that mind to ever tell my mom because I thought that this is right. Yeah.
How old were you? It was still when you're in class 5 is when this started?
Yeah, that was, I was in class 5 when it all started.
Okay, where was your mom at this point? Was she ever at home? Was she working? Where was she?
So my first experience when I was first molested with him, my mom was not around.
Okay.
I think he had gone out maybe to get some stuffs outside, and I was all alone with this man for a couple of hours. I was alone with him when he told me all this and touched me, and yeah, that's it.
Did it stop at some point, or it just progressed? First of all, did he stop at the touching, or did he go further?
Yeah, at class 5, it was just the touching, and it's just the touching, but yeah, it came to stop at some times when mom is around. He never used to do this, but according to me, I was like, it's the best thing to be done to a girl child. That was what was in mind. So at class 7, I become so worried about this, but I never had intentions of saying this to anyone. But I had a feeling that I just need to get out like away from home for like some time, then come back, because I loved my mom and I didn't want to stay that far away from her. Yeah.
So at class 7, was your dad ever abusive to your mom?
Yeah. As a drunkard, if I can say that, was very abusive and not providing. You can imagine, like he's abusive. He'll come home drunk. He'll request for food. He did not leave anything at all at home, and maybe mom doesn't have any support to get the food, so we were like having it, staying hungry. But he's like, I need food in this family, I can't get anything. So it becomes so hectic. Like he'll even beat up mom and involve me in the fight. Like mom will sometimes say, I'm leaving this house. So in the process I'm involved in, because she's like, this child is not yours, so I'm going with my child. So I keep wondering, if I'm not for him, and as young as I am, I'm supposed to have a dad, so where is my dad? So, but there came a point I asked her that question, but it seems that she was not happy about it, or rather she was not ready to tell me. And I've actually never got the answer. Yeah, but the man was very abusive. He will beat her up. And if my mom threatened to leave, she'll be like, I'll kill your child. And that was very threatening to me. I didn't know what to do.
Okay, so I can imagine now, because you're still in school, right? How were you coping with this and your studies? Were your studies affected? What was going on in your mind at this point?
Yeah, I was very much affected. That was when I was going to sit for my KCPE, that's class 8. But I really had one thing in mind. I was like, if it affects me at this time, and I by any chance slide and like I do not get the marks, I'll not get sponsored. Because in the school that I was in, Beyond the Vision, if you have more than 300 marks by that time, you're getting a full sponsorship to high school. So this was my ambition, like this is what I want. So I work my best, and I managed to get the marks to go to high school. But it affected me because my mind was not straight. I wanted to run away from home. At some point I thought about suicide, because I didn't know what was happening. I didn't get what was happening, because by this time he had already started fingering me, and it was becoming hectic for me, and I'd become used to it. Like if I don't get fingered, I don't feel like it's good with me. Yeah.
Okay, so you've finished class 8 and you've gotten the marks to go to high school. At this point, have you told your mother what is going on with your dad?
No. I just never told her anything.
Did you tell anyone else, maybe like in school or something?
Yeah. In school, when I was admitted to high school, that is when I started. In Form 1, I was quite good. I can say I was a bit good. But
When you say you were good, is good in terms of
studies, yeah, I was good in terms of studies, but my mind, like, I was never settled. I never wanted to mingle with friends. I became much of a loner, and I became so much into religious issues because I thought that maybe it might help me out, and it made me appear like a lunatic in the school. But I didn't mind as long as it was helping me out with processing my mind together and focusing in my studies. So at Form 2, that is where it becomes very worse. And I started fainting, I started acting funnily. My performance was very, very down. And I got concerned about it, and I approached one of my teachers, and I told her, there is something that is happening in my life. That is where I'm failing, but I don't feel like sharing it. So I think the teacher just took a step, and she referred me to the school counselor.
Where did you go to high school?
I went to high school at Birithia Girls, based in Nyeri.
Okay. So you had mentioned earlier that you were fainting and you had chest pains. Did you ever like get a doctor's opinion? Did you ever go to hospital and get checked, or?
Yeah, I was taken to the hospital when I kept complaining, and the teachers were really concerned about what's happening. So I was taken to the hospital. They did some x-ray to my chest, but they even did some checkups. But I was fine. The doctors say that nothing is wrong with me, but I could feel that I'm not fine at all.
Okay, so okay, let's go back to where now you've talked to your teacher and you've explained to her that there are things that are happening to you. What steps did she take? Did you get help?
Also, when I spoke to my teacher, referred me to a counselor. By that time, your teacher is your counselor, so your CRE teacher, of course. So she talked to me. She requested me to speak out because it was going to help me if it's shared. So I told her what I'm going through at home, and I told her that I don't want to go back at home, because by that time they have realized that anytime that school closes, I don't go home. I'm not happy like any other student who is in a boarding school. I'm like, I want to stay in the teachers' quarters, and I'm not going home at all, because one thing, I'll get molested. The other thing, I will not get food or the enough provisions as much as I'm in school. So when I spoke out my story to this teacher, I just told her that don't tell anyone, like keep it to yourself. Yeah. Don't even tell the other teachers, don't tell the principal, don't tell my family. I want it private. Yeah. But it was like it was out of my own confidence, like my confidentiality could not be kept. So she told me that it's kind of a police case, and she must involve the family and any other stakeholder.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what happened after that?
After that, that is when now I couldn't go home at all. I was taken to a police station, writing some statements, and then I could not get out of the school without now the authority from Beyond the Vision that was paying my fees. Yes, I stayed in school for some couple time. Yeah.
So, like when people go to their homes for holidays, you would stay in school throughout. Yeah. So I'm imagining if I'm a parent and you don't come for the holidays and children are going home, I'll be concerned. So was your mom ever concerned? Did she reach out?
Yeah, my mom reached out to the to the sponsors, and she was like, where am I? So I don't know what happened, but I guess she was explained to that I cannot go back home. And she filed a case. She was like, I've been kidnapped, and she filed a case against the school, the institution.